The first few weeks after our rooftop promise felt like a dream. Honestly, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, for the world to find some new cruel way to tear us apart. But every morning, without fail, June was there. Her name would pop up on my phone, her hand would find mine in the crowded hallways, and she'd steal these quick, breathless kisses behind classroom doors when no one was looking. It was surreal, but even in this dream, some days were definitely harder than others. We were walking through campus one afternoon, our fingers laced together, and I just couldn't stop staring at her. June caught me, a playful smirk on her lips. "Stop staring at me like that," she teased, her voice low. I couldn't help but grin back. "I can't help it," I admitted, my voice a little shaky. You're everything I've wanted." She leaned in closer, so close I could feel her breath on my cheek, and whispered, "And you're mine, always." My heart did this little flip-flop thing it always does around her. It was one thing to hear those words on the rooftop, in the heat of the moment, but it was something else entirely to live them every single day. To have her by my side, to feel completely safe, and to finally be able to smile without that constant knot of fear in my stomach. Of course, not everyone was ready to throw confetti for us. The whispers about June's player reputation hadn't completely died down. And then there was Belle. She always seemed to be lingering, a little too close for my comfort. It all came to a head one afternoon in the student lounge. I saw her talking to June, her hand on June's arm, and something inside me just snapped. I waited until Belle left and then confronted June, my arms crossed tightly over my chest. "Why didn't you tell her to back off sooner?" My voice was sharper than I intended. June let out a long sigh and sat down next to me on the worn-out couch. She looked tired. "I tried, Nara, but I didn't want to be harsh. I didn't want to just violently push her away. But I see it now, it's you I need to protect first. Your feelings." Hearing her say that, seeing the genuine regret in her eyes, made the anger start to melt away. I softened, leaning my head against her shoulder. I need to know that I come first," I mumbled into her jacket. "You do," June whispered, pressing a soft kiss to the top of my head. "Every single day, I'll show you. I promise." And in that moment, I believed her. It wasn't just about jealousy. It was about learning to trust again, and learning that June was willing to fight for that trust. The best parts of our new life were the quiet moments. The times when it was just the two of us, and the rest of the world faded away. Studying together in the library, our knees bumping under the table. Sharing a bowl of late-night instant noodles on her tiny dorm balcony, the city lights twinkling below us. Laughing until our stomachs hurt over some stupid inside joke that no one else would ever understand. Those were the moments that felt the most real, the most ours. One night, we found ourselves back on the rooftop, our spot. I rested my head against her chest, listening to the steady rhythm of her heartbeat. "Do you ever regret it?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. June didn't even hesitate. "Regret what?" she replied, her fingers gently running through my hair. "Choosing me, leaving all that other drama behind." She tilted my chin up and kissed my temple, a sweet, reassuring gesture. "Never," she said firmly. "You're worth it. Every risk, every fight. You're everything." A genuine smile spread across my face. I finally felt it, this love we had fought so hard for, wrapping around me like the warmest, safest blanket in the world. It was a feeling of peace I'd never known before. A few weeks later, she completely surprised me. I walked up to the rooftop, and she had transformed it. There were fairy lights strung up everywhere, twinkling like a private galaxy just for us, and a picnic blanket spread out with all my favorite snacks. "I wanted to do something special," June said, a nervous but adorable smile on her face. "Because you make my life so much brighter." I couldn't help but laugh, my heart feeling so full it might burst. "And you make mine terrifying," I teased back, but in the best possible way. She closed the small gap between us and kissed me. It wasn't like the stolen kisses in the hallway. This one was slow and deep, and full of all the things we couldn't say. There were no interruptions, no second guessing, no lingering doubts. Just us. When we finally pulled away, both of us breathless, June rested her forehead against mine. Us," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "I'm never letting go." I squeezed her hand tightly, my own promise mirrored in the action. "Neither am I down below," the city seemed to glow a little brighter, as if it was celebrating right along with us. Celebrating this incredible love that had fought its way through lies, jealousy, and so much fear. Our life wasn't a perfect fairy tale. It still had its challenges and its tough days, but it was ours. And every obstacle we faced it together, and it only made us stronger. Every kiss was a reminder of what we were fighting for. And sometimes you realize that love doesn't need a big explanation or a grand gesture. It just needs to be felt, to be lived, and to be protected with everything you've got. That rooftop became our sanctuary, the silent witness to our promise, and the true beginning of our story. And finally, wrapped in each other's arms, we knew what it meant to belong. Because some hearts, once they find each other, simply refuse to ever let go.